Hi, I'm montze.t. Today I'm here with Sarah Shopping. Today we're going to be discussing whether you do or don't fear death. So, do you fear death?
I'm gonna say no.
Okay, so where does this unusual response stem from? Or, since most people are afraid of death, why do you think you don't live in a fear of death?
So, okay, I know that nothing. Okay, so I know it's not promised, like, what the afterlife is gonna be like from y'all's reactions to my initial answer to this question. Um, Honestly, I think it stems from the fact that I'm not religious because sometimes I think like some like really strict religions can put that I think a lot of the fear comes from the fact that while you're alive, you have to do like enough good things to earn your spot in heaven. I think that fear might just stem from the fact that people don't think that they've done enough good, so they're scared they're gonna go down like deep. They're gonna go to hell basically.
Okay.
But I don't really hold myself to that expectation of like, if I'm not a good person, I'm gonna go here. I'm just like, I'm gonna live life, and then whatever happens after that happens after that.
Okay.
You know.
But, like, when you look into that,
Mm-hmm.
is there a certain perspective within like our societal like regimen that influences your view of death? Like you just said, you're not religious, but like what makes you lead to the way that you're okay with the fact of dying any day, that being in 5 seconds, 2 hours, or years from now?
Yeah.
Is there like a philosophical, social, scientific perspective or concept that like leads you to believe that death is something you're okay with enduring?
I think I'm more of like a spiritual person, but lately I've been on the like nature side of that. Not even like oh my god, what's the word? Like come back like
Resurrection?
no, fuck. It's a cycle.
It's okay.
Okay. It's the cycle of like birth and death, Like you become a new person. Anyways, no, it's there's a little R.
No.
You can edit this out.
No, it's okay.
Okay. Anyways.
Yeah, like you just come back.
Yeah, but it's not resurrected. It's
Reincarnation.
Like, thank you. So I don't really. It's not necessarily in that sense, but it's more in like I feel like we kind of like you're birthed. We didn't like humans that weren't like spawned from the earth, but like I think it's like a pretty cycle how like in terms of evolution, like we all kind of started like as like one little thing, and then we all just kind of like sprouted into this like big like the society we have now, just like after like a long ass time.
Okay.
But I think it's really I like the idea that we just like at the end of our life, like we get laid back into the ground and we just kind of like go back to where we kind of initially came from. Like how like a shortened version of that is like flowers. Like they bloom from the ground. You pick them. They're really pretty. They live their life on display wherever they are. And then when they die, like if a flower's like in a vase, when they die, you take them and you put them back in the ground, and they eventually just like go back.
Sprout again.
Yeah.
So you believe in like not resurrection but reincarnation?
Well, not that necessarily, but I think just more of like you just kind of get released back into wherever you came from. I think our bodies just kind of. I believe in souls and like the mindset, but I feel like
Okay, so you believe in the soul.
I believe in the soul.
Okay.
But in like the energies. But I think once you die, your body gets returned back to the earth, and your soul goes wherever. But I don't know where that is.
Okay, that's reasonable. So
wait, can I say one more
yeah,
thing?
go ahead.
I don't think the soul has a brain. I think the brain is connected to the body, so the fear of that is connected to the body, and that's what gets returned. So the soul doesn't have. In my head, I don't think the soul fears or has thoughts. It's just like energy.
Okay, I can see that. I see that. Like I see that to a certain extent.
Yeah.
But
I just ate. Damn.
You did.
I've never actually said that out loud, but I kind of ate with that shit.
So now we're gonna keep going.
Okay,
How does your lack of fear affect your perspective on life and your actions? Like, since you say you don't fear death, like, does that inflict on like your day-to-day life? Like, do you live? Because a lot of people live to die, so you're not dying to live. So, what that like mentality? How does that affect your day-to-day life?
I think it's because kind of back to like religion and in terms of like you have to be a good person to get to like the good place. I think it's like because I don't hold myself to that standard. If I make a mistake, I'm still hard on myself, but it's not in the same sense of like I'm gonna go to hell. It's like I'm just a bad person, like blah blah blah.
But why are you hard on yourself if regardless you're gonna die and it doesn't matter?
I don't know, cause yeah, that's a good question. I think cause while you're here, because my mindset, I a lot of the times look at it from a very existential point of view of like, low key, we are just little beings that came from wherever, you know what I mean? And like,
Yeah.
we're just here on a rock. It's the fucking like, we're on a rock floating in space.
Yeah, like nothing's that serious.
Nothing matters. Which, like, technically, if you want to look at it that way, like, you really can believe that. But that's, we do still have like physical emotions and thoughts. Like, we do feel and it hurts. Like, it's real to us.
Right.
So it's like, in that regard, I want to just kind of like fully give into what I feel is real and things like love, like being a good person. So it's like, I'm hard on myself because I do have like those kind of standards that I hold up to myself, and if I drop it, if I like kind of fail it, then I'm like, well, we are here for not only a limited amount of time, but an unknown amount of time, and that is what makes it precious too. Because like, if it was infinite, then like there's no value to it. Type B. Like the reason that things are valuable is because there's less. You could have less. You could have more. You know, like the differentiation and shit.
Okay.
I forgot what I was answering, TBH. But I don't know. Okay. I just hold myself to a different standard,
okay.
I guess.
I can see that. And so we're going to end it with, how does your lack of fear affect your relationship with others?
I don't know. Okay, it's weird. I don't fear death, but I do think about it a lot in the terms of like, I've lived a fairly fortunate life, so it's like, well, it's like more of like a psychological thing. I'm just like, because something good has happened, something bad has to happen. That's what is it called? Like, I forgot. I just studied it. Anyways, so I always kind of fear that like, because I've lived a fortunate life, it's gonna be repaid by like death. Which, yeah, you know, eventually I'll die.
Yeah.
That's not answering the question though. I don't really know, TBH. I haven't thought
like,
about it.
Like, you know, since you don't really care about death, do you treat others with more care, or do you treat them with less care? Like, because like, do you, like, for me, like, I fear death, so like I try to spend the most time and gratitude towards people near me, just in case like tomorrow isn't promised and I die. Like, that's my fear. Like, if I die in the next 2 hours, I know that I had a full conversation with you. Like, I gave like my last wits without being promised like anything. So like, do you, since you don't fear death, like, does that affect how you treat people?
I think it kind of ties back into the question before this, where it's just like, I think because I don't know what's beyond, I'm like really focusing on like, well, I try to really focus on the present and like what is real. And like, the one thing that I always tell myself, because like, our perception of reality is always off, but the one thing that you know is true is like love. So it's like love for like your friends, your family, like your like relationships, like that is like the one thing that's like very like, you can't really deny that. And so in that sense, it affects it in a positive light, because I'm like, I just really want to focus on like what I know is real, and what I know is real is like my people around me.
Okay, so you surround yourself with people you love in the cases to like affecting your, or
just to make it worth it.
Okay, so surrounding yourself with people you care about is what makes worth not caring about death.
Pretty much.
Okay, that makes sense. But Sarah Shoppy.
Bye.